On the 9th of January 2020, we are asked to go back to the polls. Now, this is something that we have been doing very often in the past 9 years. And many persons in the community have been complaining that going back to elections is tedious. And it has come so bad that many persons have decided, maybe because of we having to go back to elections so often, that they don't want to vote. And I also feel that we go back to election too often, and as a member of parliament that have been sworn in last month, I have decided to make use of my rights in parliament and try and do something about the constant going back to the polls, the frequent calling of elections. I have requested assistance by the clerk, by the griffier, to draft an initiative draft ordinance to change Article 59. Now, why Article 59? Usually here in St. Martin, when the Council of Ministers receive a vote of no confidence via Article 33, the Council of Ministers would retaliate and they would use Article 59 to dissolve Parliament, which automatically means going to the polls. My proposal that I'm offering initially is that when the Council of Ministers invoke Article 59, if there's a majority in Parliament, then this must not carry. The second proposal I'm looking at is when there is let's say the Council of Ministers invoke Article 59 and there is no majority in Parliament, then a grace period of 30 days should be given. After the grace period of 30 days, if there is no majority in Parliament, then the invoking of Article 59 would stand. So we are saying that instead of the Council of Ministers retaliating with Article 59, we would check if Parliament has a majority. If Parliament has a majority, then we will not go over to dissolving Parliament. If we check at Parliament and there is no majority, then we will give Parliament 30 days to have a majority. If Parliament gets a majority within the 30 days, then we do not go over to election. If Parliament cannot form a majority in 30 days, then we will go to election. I believe that this proposal of mine would help St. Martin to have more stability, especially in politics, because the constant dissolving of Parliament and then going to the polls is one of the issues that the people are complaining about so often. So I make use of my rights as a member of Parliament, which is given to me by Article 85 of the Constitution, to come with an initiative, and this is my initiative, in order to bring about more stability in St. Martin when it comes to politics. My second point that I want to bring to the public is I have been looking and listening to the people, and during the campaign you are all over, you're in every district, you meet young people and you meet older folks. And one of the cries of the people is there is nothing sufficiently for the young people to do on the island. And so one of the things that is good for young people is sports. But developing the sports on the island, having the sport fields in order, financing sport events, taking care of gear, taking care of travel is very difficult, because every time you have a group that has to travel, they have to raise funds to do so. In order to help develop sports on St. Martin, I have come with the idea of 1 cent per liter gasoline or diesel at the pump station. Now, this idea of 1 cent per liter, I raised it previously when I was in Parliament. I raised this idea in Parliament and I got some feedback from my colleagues. So I have looked at it and I decided when I come back with the proposal to Parliament, it would be a proposal where we only look at when you go to the gas station and you pump gasoline or diesel, for every liter you pump, we are asking you to pay 1 Dutch cent. And this 1 Dutch cent would go in a fund, and the fund would be separate from the government. So the government will not govern this money. A committee will be put in place to govern this money. And the money that is accumulated, the money we make with the 1 cent per liter gasoline or 1 cent per liter diesel, would be used to develop sports on St. Martin. Any sports for any group, for any age, will be financed out of this money. In this way, we can have a continuous funding for sports on the island. We are talking about sport fields. We are talking about groups that need uniforms. You're talking about sometimes they need gear. Maybe if you need basketballs or you need tennis gear, or whether they're doing badminton or they're doing athletics, this money would constantly be there to help finance everything for sports on this island. And it doesn't matter whether the sports is being done by young people or whether sports is being done by older folks. The 1 cent per liter would be used to finance all of this. Now, most naturally, if we are asking the public to pay 1 cent per liter gasoline or diesel in order to finance sports in St. Martin, I'm thinking of having an area on St. Martin where you can see how much money is in the fund, and also to have the ability to see what the money is being spent on. So the openness in this project will also be shown. 1 cent per liter gasoline, 1 cent per liter diesel is what my proposal entails in order to accumulate money to take care of sports on the island for everyone. Those are my two ideas. The bringing about a change to Article 59 of the Constitution to prevent the constant going to the polls, and also the 1 cent per liter gasoline or diesel. Mind you, the 1 cent per liter gasoline is not on cooking gas, it is not on jet fuel, it is not by GEBE, only by the pump stations. It's been asked. And in this way, everyone who's using the roads and that are buying gasoline or diesel by the pump station will contribute towards the sports for everyone else.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
How are you doing this morning?
Good.
So, Rebecca, thank you for coming. I work as a psychologist at the Mental Health Foundation. I mainly see children and adolescents, but I also see adults.
So whenever there's a crowd, that's when you're starting to feel
nervous,
Okay.
nauseous.
okay.
It is kind of like your body. We are so used to taking care of our body. If we have a little ache in our foot, we know to rest it. We know, okay, I might have walked too much, so I need to rest. Now, of course, that can be just an ache in my foot, but I can also break my leg. Now, for breaking my leg, I would have to go to the doctor. So that kind of goes the same for mental health illnesses. So you can come in for something little as, I'm really stressed out lately. What would you need? A little bit of rest. But someone can also come in with way more difficulties. We're not here to judge right or wrong, good or bad. Is it helpful for you? Fine. Is it not helpful for you? Okay, then let's see what we can do about it. But not a wrong nor right, absolutely not. It's a magnifying glass without judgment.
Well, there's still a lot of stigma on the island, unfortunately. It's not a topic that people easily talk about, and that's a shame. They're afraid that they get judged, and there is still quite a bit of judgment. I mean, often we hear, don't go to that crazy house. Once you go in, you never go back. And it's just not true, We treat a lot of patients here, and a lot of them, we get back on their feet.
Our goal at the Mental Health Foundation is for us to help you improve your life, for you to live a better, happier, and fuller life.
Since we're in the Christmas season, I don't know if you mind that I also add a little something.
I mean, we are in the Christmas season.
We are already in the Christmas season, and I would like to invite the general public to come out to the Emilio Wilson Park on Monday the 16th at night from 7:30 to 9:30. The Emilio Wilson Park Foundation, in collaboration with the Christian Council of Churches, is organizing Christmas in the Park. Christmas in the Park, we're going to be having 4 combined choirs that are going to be singing, the Christmas music, etc., etc. We have from the Methodist Church, we have from the Anglican Church, we have from the Moravian Church, and we have from the Catholic Church. So 4 choirs. And as you know, each denomination have several choirs. So each denomination needs to form a combined choir. So, and we're going to have a stage there where the people can come out and listen to the music, have something to drink or eat, And also what I want to say is that we're going to be having 2 drums on each side of the stage. So people can come with little toys, and put them into those barrels. And then after that, we will distribute them to children, So it's going to be a lovely evening. We're going to be having the harmonics from the Methodist Church, the harmonics band that's also going to be playing some music. We have the little masters that play the violin, from the Catholic Church, that they play the violin and the saxophone, and there are children.
Choir, big choir.
Yeah. Well, it's not a big choir, but
orchestra.
Okay, a little orchestra, and they play beautiful music. Really, they're going to be there also performing. So it's going to be a lovely evening, and it's free of charge, no charge, free of charge. Everybody just come to the Emilio Wilson Park. It's going to be lit. The Lions Club is donating the lights, etc. Setting up the lights, and so it's going to be a lovely evening. So we really and truly look forward to the community coming out, and spend some time with the family. It's not too long. In 2 hours, you're there and you're listening to nice music being sung and nice music being played. you know.
This will actually lift up the Christmas feeling.
Yes, it lifts up the Christmas feeling, definitely, that everybody would be there, you know, to say, well, this is beautiful. And it's not going to remain at that. We're going to be having it every year now. Every year.
Every annual we will keep.
Yeah, annually we're going to have that. So if more choirs want to join, you know, this is a tryout really. So I don't want anybody to think that we're leaving out anyone. You know, it's a tryout. So if things go good, it's going to be an annual thing, and we can always add more choirs, you know. And so I don't know if you can recall from the Lions Club, we used to organize it on the square years ago, you know, that we invited choirs to come and sing. Well, this now, you know, we want to do it. And the Emilio Wilson Park really is a nice place to have it, you know. Very nice place. We're going to put up a nice stage, and everybody can come there and, you know, listen and spend some quality time with their family there. So it's going to be nice.
Well, would you have seating for the elderly people?
Yes, we have seating for the elderly. Yes, people, you know, of course, we have seating for the elderly. So we ask the young people, give the elderly the opportunity, you know, to sit, and they can stand and follow, you know, the music, etc. But for the elderly, definitely be putting out chairs, and there's sufficient lighting. Don't worry, you know. We've checked everything out, and the park has sufficient lighting, so it's not a matter of, you know, you're going to be in the darkness, etc. There's a lot of parking space, you know. They have the entire road now. They have fixed it, so now they're going to be having a lot of parking there, so people can park close by, you know, and come and enjoy a lovely evening.
And you're saying it's going to be on the 16th of December?
Yeah, the 16th, Monday, the 16th of December.
And the starting time?
7:30 till 9:30. So,
I'd like to thank you very much for your time.
Mm-hmm.
We did 2 song bites.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, you know, once more to bring the message across, and to, of course, you know, do something for the community. That's what we always do.
Make use of WIB mobile banking with easy access and direct usage of face recognition, PIN code, or fingerprint. Download WIB mobile banking app and make your transaction from anywhere at any time. For more information, visit wib-bank.net/quick-login.
There are a lot of different things. You can look at it at a number of different angles. In terms of the whole disaster management approach, getting the different experiences from different islands and so on and being able to identify the best practices that can be translated into St. Martin and can be used on the ground on St. Martin. Also, there's the opportunity to meet and interact with a number of different organizations that are doing different things in terms of disaster management, and to just highlight the whole essentials of the comprehensive nature of disaster management as not just one entity, but it is all encompassing. And as a result of being in those conferences and having different discussions, knowing what different countries are doing, what different organizations are offering and so on, is always a benefit to a country. And having it here in St. Martin this year, where you can have more persons from St. Martin attending, can only be beneficial for the country.
So you would agree, though, that the conference has lived up to expectation?
Yes, it has lived up to expectation. I have been, in my previous capacity, I have been to a number of that type of conference, because the conference has been around for a while. It used to be every year, now I think it's every other year. And it has lived up to expectations. We get a lot of the experiences. And one of the significant things, though, in those sort of conferences is that while you may not be able to copy something that is maybe being done by Trinidad because of their size in relation to St. Martin, you might be able to copy something a region in Trinidad is doing that you might be able to duplicate right here in St. Martin. And that's the importance of it. Almost every session, there's something you can pick out from it. The other interesting thing is the emphasis that is being placed on the youth. And we had a number of youth participants here. And as a result of having a number of youth participants and also youth participants from St. Martin, what you're actually doing is that you're getting young persons involved in the whole idea of disaster management. And once you start going in that direction and you have young persons getting involved in disaster management, then you're really expanding your knowledge and your capture of disaster management and getting everyone involved.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Jose Helaga and I play basketball. I have organized basketball events in St. Martin. Sport matters to me because it makes everybody come together in unity. So I challenge the businesses community to step up for sports and help us rebuild and repair our facility. I'm also asking the community to nominate local businesses in your area to take on the challenge and step up for sport because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sports SXM Facebook page for more information. Hashtag Sport Matter, hashtag Are You In?
We will be traveling to Fort Lauderdale for the Regional Sport Accord, the Pan American Sport Accord. It's the first of its kind in terms of this type of gathering, but it's something that happens throughout the world already within Europe and America. But this time the meeting is expected to host people from government, so departments of sport. Originally the invitation went to the Minister of Sport, and I'm representing the Department of Sport within this conference. And you have sport federations that are also invited, IOCs, Olympic committees, and various other sport organizations are going to be represented, as well as businesses within the sporting world. So the idea is a coming of together of sport people. I am expected to travel, as I said before, along with Mr. Bell of the Sport Federation, as well as Mr. Cornett from the National Sports Institute, who's our executing agency in sport. And we expect to go through this conference, the subjects that are going to be spoken about has to do with anti-doping. They're going to be covering topics of sports governance, protection of athletes. So all of these are very important topics for us, specifically anti-doping. I recently went to France to a UNESCO anti-doping conference where I was able to also connect with the World Anti-Doping Agency as well as the Caribbean region anti-doping agency, where we are also seeking membership to these organizations as we try to build our national teams. It's necessary for us to connect with all of these various types of people within the area of sport for us to be able to develop our athletes. So the idea is to be able to participate in this conference and other types of conferences where we can connect regionally and internationally with sports stakeholders to see how we can further develop sport on St. Martin.
St. Martin, what are you hoping to achieve as a delegation during this conference?
Well, as per usual, when you go to these types of conferences, it's about gaining more understanding and information where sport is concerned. So specifically what the trends are regionally and internationally where anti-doping is concerned. There's also a topic of esports as well, so that we are able to branch out into other areas or avenues of economic development for St. Martin where sport is concerned. There's a topic about hosting cities, and as we try to also build on our facilities, as we want to host more tournaments, it's important for us to really understand what that entails, hosting, and what the cost is for whether it's a sport organization or government in general. And then other than that, because you have partners, business partners in sport, if it's possible for us to gain some type of sponsorships or connections where we can better build and assist financially our athletes to help them develop, then that's the whole goal. And that's why we're going as a tripartite, so government with the Sport Federation and the execution agency, we're all going together so that we can network regionally and within America to see what possibilities exist for us to be able to develop sport on St. Martin.
Are you aware of as to exactly how many persons will be in attendance?
I'm not sure, but when I was checking the delegation, we anticipate many different representatives from the Caribbean region as well as America.